beautiful product. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, so I'm saying it's a very beautiful product, football. Politics involved, too much politics in the game. Of course, would cause all these issues, of transparency and the fact that we have this debacle regarding the African Cup of Nations. So it's a beautiful product, football. But when you start to infuse politics into it, it just makes the game ugly. We have seen this in the past, with corruption cases in Africa and even in the world, in the global stage. And there's so much at stake with football. And it's like, I'm not saying this because I have evidence, but it feels like during the AFCON, the Federation was trying to reward Morocco. That's how it feels like. Looking at the administrative processes involved. Before the final, Senegal had lots of complaints before the final.
True. We all saw that. We all saw that on camera and social.
To the city center.
Yeah.
They were bombarded at the train station with lots of fans. They changed their training venue because they felt the training was going to be monitored, at the end of the day. And they had to get a new training center. They could not get enough tickets in the final. They got less than 2,000 tickets for 80,000 capacity stadium. So it felt like they were playing against not just the home fans, but also against the administrators. And that's why they were frustrated at the AFCON final. They scored a goal, and the goal was disallowed, and they had a penalty awarded. And when you now combine all of that frustrations together, that's why they walk. I'm not supporting the walk-off.
Yeah.
But you can understand why they walked off.
Yes,
of course. After walking off, the referee should have ended the game right there. But people are of the opinion that if the game has ended there, it should have also been like, you see, we don't get it from Morocco because we're tired.
Yeah. They wanted a strong finish. That's Morocco now.
Yeah, so it felt like it's political. And that's why they were angry and that's why they left. And that's where the game should have ended. But because they allowed the game to continue, Morocco had an advantage to win the game on paper. They have a very good team, no doubt. Very strong side. At the last World Cup in 2022, they got to the semi-final. They have a good team. But Senegal were also very strong at the end. From home, having an impressive record from the group stage to the knockout stage, up to the final, playing against a strong, hostile away fans. It's not a unique incident with the Towel.
Yeah.
When the players had to mark Towel, that they were attacked by ball boys.
True.
When you combine all of this together, you can understand what Senegal had to go through to reach the AFCON final.
So basically,
that's why it felt political, yes.
All right, for you it is political, and then perhaps CAF should do the needful and give football the respect it deserves. But now let me just read out what the statements reads from the referee. He said the referee reports from Senegal versus Morocco clash confirms that there was no mention of any team withdrawing from the match. According to the Congolese referee, play was temporarily stopped in the 90th minute and resumed after 12 with no record of a World Cup. So the controversy continues indeed, but Ademola will leave it at that, and perhaps in the coming days there will be a response to from CAF as regards to this recent updates coming up from that place.
Just one more word before you go on.
All right.
The loss of the game in football, 5.2. The referee decision is final.
Yes.
That's what would make Senegal likely win the case in CAS.
Okay, now with this referee update, Senegal has already gone to CAS. We know that for sure. Perhaps with this, it plays in their favor, or the other way around. Maybe CAF will come to say, "Oh, there's a contradictory statement from the referee. Let's look into it." Timing was there. Everything. Technology was there basically. So, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what CAF will come out to say. So quickly, let's touch on back to Nigeria, and then let's touch on the Super Falcons. Your darling Super Falcons. I know you follow Nigerian women football a lot, and then the Falcons now have been scheduled after so many cries from people like you and a host of others. The Super Falcons have been scheduled for a friendly against Cape Verde in the build-up to the AFCON coming up in July. Quickly, do you think this is an upgrade, or a downgrade for the Super Falcons after so many waiting?
Definitely a downgrade. Cape Verde, no doubt, they're a good side, but this will be their first AFCON. The Super Falcons of Nigeria are 10 times African champions.
Yeah.
But the preparation for the WAFCON for this year, which is serves as the World Cup qualifiers, has not been adequate enough. Now, if you just compare them with the Super Eagles, who are not going to the World Cup, look at the quality of games they play. Portugal.
Yeah, Portugal,
Iran,
Poland.
They played Jordan. They're going to play Poland. Last year, they played the Unity Cup. They played Jamaica. They played top teams. Super Falcons, let me count the defenders they played from last year. They played Cameroon twice. After Cameroon, they tried to play Togo. It was cancelled. They played Cameroon again. And now we are playing Cape Verde. So you can see the difference in the quality of opposition for the Super Falcons and for the Super Eagles.
Yeah.
And you expect the series to perform when they come to international competitions.
But they actually do perform. I think the fault is theirs. Maybe if they stop performing, maybe there'll be a change in structure for them.
Yeah, and that's the argument a lot of people are saying. But also people have also been saying that the men's game not attract a lot of sponsors and funding. And that's why they feel like it's easier for you to sell Victor or Ademola Lookman, and it's easier for other top federations to also contact us who want to play us because they're also preparing for the World Cup. Yeah. When it comes to the Super Falcons, it feels like we're not willing to go the extra mile to invest our personal fund to look for high quality friendly. We should not wait for top teams to come for us. We also have to spend to also invite top teams. They can come to Uyo. We have a good stadium in Uyo. They can play in Abeokuta. I know it's not world class here. Don't call me out for it anyway, but they can organize top class friendly with this type of position. Even in Africa, invite Senegal, a top team. Invite Ghana that got to this, that got the bronze medal at the last WAFCON. Invite Morocco. These are teams that you can play within Africa that are also strong. Yeah. And you trust me, you will get good preparation and proper camping ahead of the World Cup. This one is so important because it's the qualifiers for the World Cup.
Yes, I agree with you.
Can qualify for the World Cup. It would be a shame if our Super Falcons for the first time failed to qualify for the World Cup because of poor preparation ahead of the WAFCON.
Okay.
WAFCON this year has expanded from 12 to 16.
Yeah.
Now that we have 16 teams at the WAFCON, only top 4 will get automatic qualification to the World Cup. We have to get to the semi-finals to be able to
get a ticket.
And it's a big tax.
All right. So hopefully, yes. I guess I will say it now that I pray and hope that your outcry, or should I say your plea, be listened to and adhered to by the NFF now, and perhaps give the Super Falcons more challenging fixture, in your words, that they can prepare ahead of the WAFCON, because like you said, it's not just the regular WAFCON now; it is the World Cup qualifier. So they should treat it with topmost priority, knowing fully well that Nigeria's Super Eagles will not be at the World Cup this year. So we should channel all that energy to the men's national team. We'll see that in the coming days and see what the NFF will be doing. But now, to women's football, let's now bring it back to local league football. Of course, the NWFL. We're prepared to wrap up the first stanza of the league. Yes, it's match day 14 today. I mean, a lot of fixtures lined up, but if you take a look at the table, it's looking quite interesting. Edo Queens go top of the table in Group A, Bayelsa Queens in second place, Rivers Angels in third place, most likely going to pick the ticket to the playoff, Super 6 playoff. And then in Group B, there's FC Orobo Queens, Abia Angels, shockingly, against Nasarawa Amazons, and then Remo Stars in third place there. But you can say that if you look at the standing, Nasarawa Amazons and Remo Stars ladies share the same point. But your thoughts on the NWFL, and as we prefer to wrap up the first stanza?
Yes, so it's a good one. It has expanded from the last season. Now we have more teams. We have 2 groups. We have 20 teams participating at the top flight in the NWFL. And yeah, it's a good one. For me, Group A has been decided, on paper.
Yes.
3 teams like Edo Queens, Bayelsa Queens, and the Rivers Angels. I think it's over 10-point gap with the 4th place teams.
Yes.
In Group B, it's quite tight. Anybody could still drop between Orobo Queens, Abia Angels,
and Nasarawa Amazons. Yeah.
But I must say, Orobo Queens have been fantastic. They missed Super 6 last year, and this time around they would want to ensure with 28 points now. I think they played today, and they are likely leading right now.
Yes.
Following the updates, so they would likely win that and fly into that position. We have 2 groups, and only the top 3 teams in each group will qualify for the Super 6 and fight for a chance to be the champions of the NWFL, the Nigerian Women Football League, for the 2026 season. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one.
Indeed, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm talking about fixtures, you just brought it out of my mouth. Currently, there are games lined up already as we speak. This is match day 14, and there's Rivers Angels going against Adamawa Queens there in Group A. Bayelsa Queens will face off Ibom Angels, but then Niger Rattles are up against Ekiti Queens. We have Heartland Queens and Pesetas Queens. Then in Group B, we have Danza Ladies up against Delta Queens, Oshun Babes, and Confluence Queens. Nasarawa Amazons are facing Remo Stars Ladies, Ahmadin Queens up against FC Robo, and Sunshine Queens and Abia Angels also face off at exactly 4 p.m. But quickly, who do you think, if you're going to predict from these top 6 teams, or these top teams that'll make it to the Super 6, who do you think will take home the trophy from the NWFL?
The Super 6 is a different ball game entirely, to be honest.
Yeah.
They did so well. Nasarawa Amazons got so close, but also lost some players after the regular season. So it's going to be very dicey. I would say the team that has the strongest depth will likely take it home this time around. Robo Queens, my personal favorite, they're a team based in Lagos, but they're a very young side. A lot of young talents, a lot of under-20s in that team. And so I don't know if they can pull off that strength when they come to the Super Six, when it's time for the big girls to play. And so I would say maybe Edo Queens, they have the depth. I'm tipping them. They're not my personal favorites. I still want Robo Queens to win, but I'm tipping Edo Queens on paper. So somehow do well and maybe lift this time around.
All right, so hopefully that will be that your prediction turns out that way. But I think definitely to be between Edo Queens, like you said, Bayelsa Queens, anybody from the top 6 that will make it to the Super 6 deserve to be the MWFL champion. But we'll wait and see. The first stanza is just at this climax, and perhaps in the coming days, next match, they will know exactly which team is going to the Super 6. And now that takes us, of course, to the MPFL, where it's rather looking interesting, both on top of the table and at the bottom of the table. The title race is intense. It is now confirmed. It is between Rangers International and Rivers United. But let me ask you, Demola, who do you think will take it out? Because both are currently level on points. Rangers on top of the table on goal difference, and Rivers right behind them. They're level on points with them 55 at these after match day 33. But who do you think it will end up, crowning MPFL champion for this season?
Yeah, so this season I've not watched a lot of MPFL games live, but I would say personally I feel like I want Enugu
Rangers.
I want Rangers. I want them to lift the not because of their coach and the way they have welcomed away teams this season. I feel like they have a good record, and I feel like the coach deserves to lift the MPFL after his friend, his close friend.
Yes. Yeah,
exactly.
Now, just talking about Remo Stars. I mean, Remo Stars, for the first time in a long time, we've not seen a defending champion struggle in the NPFL. But Remo Stars are not just struggling to stay in the NPFL, they're actually struggling to remain out of relegation waters. They are currently 17th on the log right there with 40 points from 33 games. What do you think had happened or happened in the Remo Stars camp that has caused this much, setback in terms of results? Could it be the exit of Ogumudede?
I feel like it's a combination of different factors. So my personal opinion, on the exit of the top head coach, to them starting in the continent and having that distraction of playing Sundowns and traveling, before they kickstart their season.
But even Rivers United had it. Rivers United had it. Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you.
Yes, it's fine. So I feel like last season they gave it all. This season they were shocked and they had some surprising. But the MPFL is so funny because if you look at where they're standing right now, they're 17 with 40 points.
Yes.
The team that is on number 7, they are 46 points. Not
exactly.
6 points away.
Yeah, 2 matches away.
Top 7.
Yeah.
And with 5 games to go. With 5 games to go, they can, because it's just 6 point difference between them and the team on number 7 on the table. Bengal Insurance. So MPFL is so tricky and it's very competitive. So I'm surprised that, even with this late stage of the competition of the season, you're having 6 point difference with the 7th place team.
With almost the relegation threat team.
From the bottom place team to the 7th place team, it's just 12 points. I think 12 points 10 points.
3 games and a draw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, from the 20th bottom team. So that shows it's a very competitive league. Yeah. It's not for the faint-hearted.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ademola. That's the conversation. Thank you so much for being a part of the show this evening, and hopefully we'll have you back here to discuss more on the NWFL and of course these Super Falcons, where I know you have so much love for. We'll see what happens if the NFF gets to schedule more friendlies for them in the build-up to the WAFCON. But thank you so much, Ademola Victor, for being a part of the show this evening.
I'll keep saying, watch African football, support Nigerian football, support the Super Falcons, support the Super Eagles, and of course, let's support our local talents and local leagues.
Yeah, that's right, what we're doing right here on Sports Beats on the Wednesday edition. But thank you once again for being a part of the show. Well, that was my guest, Ademola Victor. Ademola Victor is a stand follower of the Nigeria League. Like you rightly heard him, he follows the Nigeria League, women's football, both the Super Falcons, the NWFL, and anything that concerns Nigeria football is your guy to reach out. But he's been a part of the show and he shared his own thoughts as regards to what what the NFF needs to do when it comes to the Super Falcons gearing up for the WAFCON coming up in July, and also the CAF situation that is coming up now, what the CAF board needs to do not to put African football to shame. But just before we wrap up, as we rightly said, our last conversation was on the MPFL, and the title race is looking very intense. But just to roll out the standing to you as before we wrap up, Rangers International sits on top of the table right there with 55 points. Rivers United in second place with level on points with goal difference. Rangers top that table with goal difference against Rivers United. In third place, shockingly to everybody, Korodu City sits there gaining for continental slot with 52 points, just 3 points apiece, both Rangers and Rivers United. So at its stand, it could be anybody's game with 5 games left to be played in the league this season. Nasarawa United also comfortably in 5th place right there with 50 points from 33 games, just 5 games, 5 points apiece. The first place, that which is Rangers International, and in the bottom place there we have Bayelsa. Let me start from number 15, of course. Adalin Eyimba. Then before that, they have Kano Pillars in 14th place with 42 points. Eyimba in 15th place with 40 points away from 33 games. Bayelsa United and the defending champions Ramos Stars there in 17th place, just struggling in the relegation water. Still 40 points from 33 games played. Kwara United also in 18th place there. Then Wiki Torres in 19th place, and Cook Leaford. We all know already that 2 teams will be going out because 2 teams from the NNL has already gained promotion to the MPFL, so they must go down. But who is it going to be? We will find out in the coming days. March 34 is upon us just this weekend, and in the coming days, the title race and the relegation battle will get intense in the Nigerian Premier League. But on that note, we say keep watching and keep promoting, or perhaps keep following the Nigerian football, and we'll see what happens in the coming days. Thank you for being a part of the show this evening. I am Brenda Shima saying see you next time, and Sports Beats makes a return on Friday, so do well to be a part of it. Ray Power 100.5 FM is the station. Bye for now.